Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come learn more about Cost Certified and our exciting new feature, Auto Cost. My name is Patrick. I am the Vice President of Sales here at Cost Certified. I'll be moderating today's webinar. So as questions come out throughout this session, please drop that into the chat. I'll be actively monitoring that and will do my best to make sure any questions you guys have are adequately addressed and answered and directed to the right person. On the call with us today, I have some cost certified colleagues with me. First, we have Jared, who is our product lead for AutoCost, has intimate understanding of the product and is here to answer all the tough questions that I won't be able to answer myself. Also have with us Chadwick, who is our senior account executive. Chadwick will be doing a live demonstration of our solution in action, so you'll get to see what Cost Certified looks like and the added power of AutoCost. And we have a very special guest with us as well, too, Dimitri from OneBuild. Dimitri is the founder and CEO there. Before we dig it in, maybe calling out that the AutoCost feature that has now been enabled is available only for our US customers today. But maybe I'll throw it over to Dimitri for a chance for you to sort of introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about OneBuild. So Dimitri, please.
Thank you, Patrick. Hi, everyone. So we are really excited to be a part of Cost Certified family. Cost Certified has built an incredible product that enables contractors to basically do everything in one place. What OneBuild provide is a database of construction costs that you can now rely on for doing your estimates, for analyzing your project budgets, for making sure that you're keeping your profit margins high. And so what OneBuild does is we track 68 million data points on construction materials, labor, equipment, general conditions across the United States, covering virtually every corner of the country with 3,033 counties in the United States. We work directly with construction suppliers to obtain that data, and we work directly with contractors also to validate, qualify, and make sure that the data that gets to you is accurate, useful, and relevant. And data gets updated on a monthly basis. We run internal analyses on a daily basis as well. So it always stays up to date and relevant to help you to win more projects and to make more money in the process.
Awesome. Thank you, Dimitri. So OneBuild really is the power behind our new AutoCost feature that gives you the confidence when using the Cost Certified solution that you can send the fastest, most accurate estimates in industry. So we're really excited to have OneBuild sort of join that Cost Certified family and just really add a whole bunch more power to our already incredibly powerful solution. So without further ado, I think why most of you joined is to see a live demonstration of this in action. I know we have a mix of people on this call today. Some are existing Cost Certified customers that are perhaps already familiar with our solution, as well as people that are interested to learn about Cost Certified and our prospective buyers. So Chadwick's going to do a high-level overview of our solution and speak to the AutoCost feature in that as well too. So Chadwick, please take it away.
Excellent. Thank you, Patrick. And can you guys just confirm that you can see my screen?
Sure can.
Perfect. Okay. So again, for people that don't know what Cost Certified is, I'm going to just do a high-level overview, and I'm going to talk about AutoCost kind of as we go here. And just so you all know, I was a user of Cost Certified for 2 years before I came on as a demonstrator. I grew up in a renovation family. I've been involved in quoting all my life, and I was 15 years as a professional estimator. And having this auto costing, if I would have had that back when I was running my business, this would have been such a game changer. So it's really exciting to be firstly a part of Cost Certified and teaming up with OneBuild. This is like a dream come true for an estimator / renovator to see this technology. And Cost Certified has a patent on it. So what we're showing you here today This doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. This is, the newest, latest, greatest, fastest technology in the world for quoting. What I'll start with here is when a cost certified customer comes on with cost certified, we build out your templates for, renovation projects, new home builds, landscaping. We really tailor or we really work well for residential customers because the premise of our software is that when you give a customer a quote, it's going to have an interactive function to it where the customer can choose optional items or they can upgrade. So I'll go over that here in a little bit once we get in here. But basically, what you're seeing here is the template screen. So if you were going to see a customer, today we're going to do a bathroom quote. We've got a bathroom quote set up here and some framing. I would literally go in here and I would find the template that I'm using. And these templates, by the way, can be modified by yourself or our onboarding team can modify it for you. You can copy them, you can make changes, you can start quotes from scratch. So cost certified is really easy to use. But basically, I would pick an item which I've already picked, and I would either have my own pricing in there before one build. I would have to, we would reach out to your suppliers and sub trades, and we would try to put together some pricing and give you some standards. Well, what's great about this now is I can literally click on the auto cost library. And this would all be done, of course, pre doing a quote. Like we would already set this up for you. These items would be done. But, if I go into dimensional lumber, one of the most important things when we're building renovations is we need dimensional lumbers. At your fingertips, you have all your dimensional lumber pricing. You've got your sheeting and plywood. All the general construction items. And of course, it goes deeper. And I'll show you that once we get into the software a little bit more. But anything you can imagine when you're quoting a job, it's in here. And I think of a situation where I've got painters that start their business, and painters always get the jump on. The customer says, "Hey, we're getting a paint job, but we're also doing our kitchen." And painters usually turn into renovators because they get access to quote those jobs. And you could literally be a painter or, and use this auto costing and you could quote a kitchen tomorrow and the pricing would be accurate. So it's pretty amazing in that regard. I won't spend a lot of time here, but I hope you get the gist that you can go in. We will pre-populate most of these items, obviously, but you would basically just go in, pick a template, and I've already got one picked here, so I'll just go right into the quote. This is the back end. So I would have found my 3-piece shower, and I've got some framing in here that I'm going to show you. And this is not what the customer sees, so just keep that in mind. And basically, with cost certified, the first thing that I would do is I would make these optional. That's one really cool thing about cost certified is now the 3-piece shower is optional and I could make the framing optional. So if the customer doesn't have enough budget to do multiple jobs or all the pieces of the job, you might want to make demo optional. You might want to make crown molding optional or a garburator. I don't necessarily want to make cabinets optional, and you have full control over doing that. So, and I'm just going to take that out. I'm not going to make it optional for this example. I just wanted to show you that. But basically, before you get going on a quote, you can see your cost is $9,300 in red here on the right side. Your price to the customer is $13,000, and you can see your profit. And really what we're talking about here today, the most important thing, if you think about it, is knowing our cost. The profit, we can figure that out later. It'll take care of itself if you know your cost, because on average, contractors leave about 5 to 15% of material cost on the table because they didn't think about all the little incidentals. Well, now you will never have to worry about that ever again. So when I open up this 3-piece bathroom, what you'll see here is I've got my vanity, I've got my shower, my toilets, and you see the green icon. That means that these are all auto costed items and those prices are going to update for you automatically. You don't got to think about it no more. So when I open up this assembly here, and you can see you got your cost, price to the customer, and profit on the side. When I open this up, I've got my full height shower. At $2,200, I've got all the items that you would need and everything that is linked here at the 64 square foot measurement. If I change that measurement here to, 87 feet, it's going to change all these prices on the side automatically. Boom, it just changed those prices. And so, just by inputting the measurements, the software will automatically update those prices. Now, wall tile is starting at $3. I've got upgrades in here for the customer already preset. So all you got to do is measure this, and I'm going to have $3 a square foot, 6, 9, 12. So that the customer has a product range. And the cool thing about cost certified, I was talking about optional items, is a cost certified quote causes chaos to your competitors. Because when you have optional items and upgrades, everybody quotes the same thing. 5 guys quoting on the same job. Everybody quotes the same thing. However, with a cost certified quote, the customer's downgrading, upgrading, taking stuff out. It forces a requote, and 80% of the time, your competitors will not give a requote. So we would encourage you to make everything optional, put as many upgrades in here as you can. As you can see, we've got lots of different items in here. We got the shower head, the sliding doors, and these will all have options and upgrades attached to them. So that's the bathroom in itself, and I'll show you that more on the back end, what that looks like. But as you can see, we've got all the different categories here. We like to hide the demo at the bottom. We don't show demo at the beginning of the customer in the proposal. That's not very exciting to them. And you can put it in any order you want. You can simply just drag on an item and move it to any position you want in the quote. Here is an example of framing, okay? So we've got a 2x6 wall. And just think, if you're framing a house or doing an addition, all you got to do is put the linear foot of framing in, and it's going to take care of all these different items. I think I've got a bottom plate here, the sill plate. I've got a double top plate at the top here. I've got my studs, my 92 and 5/8 studs, and then I've got all the components down here. And again, everything is auto updated. So, I think that there's a lot of different ways you could think about using auto cost. Firstly, budgeting. When you go talk to a customer, you can literally have a price that is accurate in 5 minutes for a bathroom or a kitchen. You just plunk the measurements in. I'll show you how to do that right here. And that customer's trust in you is going to go up huge. So to do a bathroom quote or a kitchen, all I got to do, here's my bathroom. I got to do, it's a 10x8. Let's do a standard 8-foot bathroom by 5 feet. That's pretty much standard. I do my shower length. That's going to be 3x5. That's already in there. That's perfect. I've got my backsplash area. Now notice I don't have a toilet, a sink, and all the incidentals in here. I don't need it. I already know that we have that. It's a 3-piece, right? So I've got my rough ins, I've got my toilet rough in, and all my shower stuff. So I don't need to put that in here. I just need measurements, and I can literally have a price for the customer in 5 or 10 minutes. And we can think about this as a budget price, and they can go out and do some more shopping. And not everybody is going to be able to close on the spot and guarantee a price right on the spot. But the nice thing about what the auto costing does is it brings the trust up with that customer immediately, because every single one of your competitors has to say, I'll get back to you. I've got the information. I've just spent an hour with you. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to give you a quote in 2 to 5 days. And most guys are always late on that, and the customer's getting annoyed. And you come in right off the bat and boom, you've got pricing for them. And this is what it looks like on the back end or on the customer side. So when I go to the preview tab here, and I can change this background to any background I want. I can literally go in here and pick kitchen. Oops. So we'll put your logo in there. You can change that background, one click of a button. It is a full screen experience for the customer. And you're doing this with an iPad or a computer. The whole idea of cost certified is sales is a race. And the sooner that you can present a price to the customer and show that you're the one to be trusted, and if you can do that in the first meeting, your confidence goes up with that customer huge. So as you can see, the software already knew that we had a vanity in here, and these prices will update in real time on these vanities. And for selection wise, you want 3 to 5 selections on the low end. You want about 50 selections on the high end. You don't want to overwhelm your customers. And I've personally gone to a Home Depot and measured how many products they can actually fit in a physical space, and it's no more than 50, I can tell you that. And a lot of the time, it's only 3 to 5 products that they're offering you. So, the whole thing here is that you really want to separate yourself from your customer or from your competitors. And what a great way to do it and gain the trust of that customer right away here. And the other thing about Cost Certified is not only are we doing the quote for you and handling that, our software, as we build and put the dimensions in, it is building out a scope of work. So you've just saved yourself an hour or two on the back end. You don't have to do a scope of work anymore. It creates a material list down to every nail and every screw. So number one, again, when we talk about your costs being confirmed, you're not missing out anything there, and you didn't have to make that material list. And then I'm going to save you even more time. The software also schedules out the job. So as you build the quote by the dimensions, the software knows how long it takes to do each task. And it's also going to notify your sub trades of when they're supposed to come. Now, if they don't come, you can just drag Monday to Tuesday, and it's going to notify everybody down the line of when their new date is. So, not only can we help you with your estimating, we're helping you with your project management. Now, what if a customer wants to talk to you? Well, there's a few different ways. They can actually type a message right here inside the quote on an item. Is this grout non-stainable? They can ask questions here. Whatever you want to use an example, I can put that in. That's a question that's going to come back to me on the quote if I've sent it to them. Now, I can also chat with them right here. I've got a chat function. So customer might write a message, or, whoops, are you coming tomorrow? So now, you've got a nice way to keep track of, all your communications with your customer right inside the quote. And just think if you ever had to go to court, a customer threatens they don't want to pay, or I didn't pick this, or I didn't pick that. Well, here's all of our messages right inside the quote. Everything is pretty cut and dry. And to date, we've had nobody go to court with a cost certified quote debating whether they had something or didn't have something, or so, and that's always in contracting. That's a big part of contracting, is at some point you are going to go to court with a customer that is being difficult. So I'm going to go down to the bottom here and just show you that we can also allow the customer to sign the project. So once we're done and the customer is ready to agree to the terms, we're going to put your contract rate in here. And this could be 3 pages long. In California, it's 7 pages and a bunch of conditions. We can definitely handle getting that in here for you. It shows you a breakdown of all the items here. And then if the customer accepts the project, it's going to simply take it to, you will get a notification, and it's going to take you to your pipeline. So we also have a CRM. You have to be able to track all your customers. And I've got a nice way of doing that all in one screen. So this is a great way to share information with your whole company. I won't spend a lot of time here, but new leads are in red, and they will automatically populate from your request a quote form inside of your website if you have that. Or if you have a lead source, we can work at getting those programmed in here so they show up here automatically. One cool thing is for forecasting, I've got $493,000 of potential revenue coming in. So that's nice to know as an owner, as a sales guy. Nice to do for forecasting. Needs approval just means you got a new salesperson, and you're going to approve their quotes before they go out. And one cool thing is you can see the status of your quote. Have they got it? Have they opened it? Oh, look at this. Andrew opened his quote today. Awesome. When the customer approves the job, it will automatically move over to a book project, and that will trigger our software to create an estimate or an invoice. It does that automatically. So I will now be able to see how much I have in book projects. I will be able to see what's in the schedule in progress here. And then with invoicing, again, it makes an invoice, and all you have to do is hit 20%, 50%, send it to your customer, and they can pay through their Visa, through their bank account, and I think through Apple Pay or Google Pay. I'll maybe let Jarrett talk maybe more about that. But just to wrap this up, Cost Certified is a one-stop shop to run your business. It makes it super fast to estimate. It allows that customer the ultimate flexibility in knowing what their price could be. And I can tell you from personal experience, I got a lot of jobs because I offered laminate countertops and nobody else did, but I had it as a bottom, and I had stick-on tile. I had that stick-on tile stuff, and I offered that, and people that didn't have enough budget to go with all the expensive guys, I could be expensive too, or I could be cheap. So you only put the products in here that you're willing to put in. If you don't want to put in an $89 toilet, start at $129, whatever you like. So, but again, the software is just a great way to run your business, and it saves you about 80% of the time you would in a traditional method of running your business with a Google Sheets. If you're a Buildertrend user, Buildertrend is a great program. Love it. I was on it for 10 years. There's things I love about that program, but this is much simpler than Buildertrend, and they don't have the quoting function down. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to turn it back over to Patrick, and I think we're going to open it up for questions here. So thank you for listening to what I have to say about it, and I'll turn it back over to you, Patrick.
Awesome. Thanks, Chadwick. We had a couple questions that came through in the chat. Jerry, I saw you came in a little bit late asking if it would be recorded. Yes, absolutely. This will be recorded. So after this is complete, you should see that recording emailed out to all the participants. What I would say is Chadwick, I think that's the quickest demo I've seen you do, because great, which is great. And where I'm getting at is I think Chadwick just kind of scratched the surface. We're trying to find that balance of audience members, those that are existing cost certified and those that are perhaps prospective buyers. So if you want to learn more about cost certified, if you want a custom demo as well, after this webinar is over, you'll get a recording of this link, and we'll also send you time to book time in with any of our account executives that could do a much deeper dive, because I think Chadwick just kind of scratched the surface of what the power of our platform really is. So if you'd love a custom presentation, please follow up, book some times with one of our account executives to do so. Other chat question that came through, I'll put that towards Dimitri. I know you kind of addressed it in the chat, but want to give you a chance to maybe speak more to it. The question about whether this would include local suppliers and the ability to pick between them.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great question. So we are going to be adding more suppliers. What's on the roadmap for us right now is Build.com by Ferguson, Lowe's, Ella Flooring, Amazon, and a handful of others. So be on the lookout for that, and we're going to be collaborating with the Cost Certified team to help to bring them in. But in the meantime, any requests for suppliers, we're always looking to add more. If there's specifically somebody that you're working with, and there's a sales rep that we could collaborate with on bringing that integration live, we're always happy to work with working those into.
And I see you guys were active in the chat, dropping all the suppliers that you deal with today. We'll make sure that we get a record of all those ones that you've put in those chats and get that off to the One Build team, so that your suppliers can be included when that comes live. Another question that came through from Marco: can I mark up from these average prices? So I think where he's getting auto costs will bring in what the cost of those materials are. Is that what I have to include in my estimate, or am I able to sort of put a little bit of a margin for myself on top of that? Chadwick, maybe I'll add.
And as I did the quickest demo ever, I would usually go in the weeds and show you how to add some pricing to it. And maybe I'll just share my screen again quickly, and I'll just show you that, because it's super simple to do that. Okay, I just got to figure out what I'm going to share. I'm sharing. Okay, did it go back to you can see red to green?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So we'll just open up a quote here, and we'll just add, let's see here. Let's just add this 2-piece. So yeah, that's a great question. So when you go, and I didn't open up a auto-costed bathroom. This is a non-auto-costed bathroom, but if it was, you'd see the green icon here if it's auto-costed. Or actually, let's do it this way. Let's go into the library. Let's grab rough lumber here. You need to set the zip code first. Okay, let's do that. That is okay. So that's a great point, actually. So I talked to a lot of guys in the States that seem to do jobs in different 90210, right? Everybody remembers that show. So we're in Beverly Hills. Now we've got pricing for Beverly Hills. So the cool thing about this is you could have, you know, 3 different states that you're working in, or you could work across all 52, and you put the zip code in for that particular customer, and it's going to pull the pricing in for that customer. So let's see here. I thought I added, oh, I needed to add a item in now. So let's go to the auto cost. We'll go to rough carpentry. Let's go to our lumber, and let's just grab sheathing and plywood. We'll grab that in here. Arrow 152 or error 1552. Okay, so not sure why it's doing that. Let's just do it on a non item, and I'll go to let's see here. Let's do this exhaust fan. Okay, so if this was an auto costed item, you can change the name. It won't affect anything. You cannot change the dimension if it's an auto costed item. It has to, you won't be able to, the software won't let you change it. But if it's a non auto cost item, you can change the dimension type if it's square foot, linear foot. But let's say our cost here is, we got our labor at 37, our materials at 100. You can go right here to your markup, and now you put your profit on. And the average contractor is at 43% markup on our software. So a lot of guys come to us at 20 and 30%, but that is where you would upgrade or put your profit in right there. Now you can also do this in multiple places to add a profit. Is you can actually do it on the assembly itself. So I can actually change the profit on this assembly right here. So this is at 42% markup. I could go to 80%, just slide the slider here. Okay, so, and then lastly, I can change the markup on the overall job right here. So I'm at 55% on this job. I could go to, 160. I pulled up, the guy's got a Hummer, a boat, he's paying. So
he lives in Beverly Hills, so he must be.
well, exactly. So yeah, so Marco, great question, but yeah, a lot of different ways that you can play with the markup. And look at it, just adjusted this quote up $1,400. And then if I don't want to, if the guy gives me a hard time, and I can take it back and go back to revert back to the original. So
awesome. Thank you,
yep.
Chadwick. And I should, we are cost certified. We are a Canadian-based company in Calgary, Alberta. So 90210 is the zip code that I think every Canadian knows and is sort of our go-to. And maybe just a fact check that it sounded like you said 52 states there, Chadwick. There are 50.
You know what?
In fact.
That's funny. 52 months in a year, 50 states. So
52 weeks in a year.
Or 52 weeks. And I thought they were requiring, I thought when Trump was in power, maybe Marco would know this better, that they were going to require another state or something, or they were going to take Canada or Denmark or something. I can't remember.
Nothing about that. But we do have some questions in the chat that came through from Jerry and Devin, and maybe they kind of flow into each other. So Jerry asked, can we assume that auto cost item list will continue to update with more items? And then a follow on to that, Devin, can you tell which supplier the items are pulled from? So maybe we'll go with the first question. Can we assume that they will continue to be updated, Dimitri?
Sure, definitely. We're excited to collaborate with the cost certified team. So the cost certified team is open to adding more catalogs. We definitely have them available. We're actually launching them making them available later this month and early September. So absolutely. And as far as where the data is coming from, we have 5 suppliers that we integrate with directly, and there's over 1,000 suppliers that we communicate with to obtain their quotes on a regular basis as well. But some notable names for direct integrations, as I brought up before, folks at LL Flooring, Bill.com by Ferguson, and a handful of others.
Awesome. And there's a follow-up as to how often are you guys updating that library and that pricing?
So you get an update shipped on a monthly basis.
On a monthly basis. Perfect. Okay, I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss anything here. I see Jerry typing. We'll give it a minute. And Rod. Yeah, you got it, Jerry. So that's monthly. They're adding new items and pulling and refreshing that pricing on it. We'll see some more typing coming through. Maybe I'll use this moment is just to reinforce for any of your existing cost certified customers, you should have seen in-app notifications as well as a marketing email that came out. All accounts have a 45-day free trial that's been enabled. So just if you enroll in that, you can turn this on 45 days to sort of give it a whirl, try it out. If you have additional questions, reach out to your customer success rep. They can help guide and talk you through that. But the best way to really get a feel for it is to turn that free trial on, 45 days to use it. So I encourage everybody here that is a cost certified customer today to do so. Nick asked the same question almost at the same time. You're coming in. So is the pricing an average from all specific suppliers?
The one that you see available right now is what we call benchmark price. So it's across multiple suppliers. It's most useful when you're doing your initial estimates. You want to have allowance pricing. And then the release that I mentioned that we have available shortly, we will also be able to provide specific supplier pricing and even potentially an opportunity to purchase those items.
Perfect. And another one, can we tell which supplier the items are pulled from? I think
Yeah, not in the allowance pricing database, but in the future, you will be able to also tell that.
Perfect. And then Gary asked, is this program for remodeling or new? It would be both, right? Whether you're doing a remodeling or a new build, it covers all types of those projects.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, we probably have 30% of our subscribers are new home builders. I would say that the rest are renovators, some landscapers. And again, we really tailor to a residential builder that has a residential customer. If they have a commercial, it doesn't work as good because nobody cares about selections. In commercial, you're told what to do and what to price, where in residential, you have to let the customers make selections. So, but great for builders for sure. And I'll just add to that, for builders, the budget pricing. So I worked for a company and I could sell a new house or I could do renovations. And with building, you always start with a budget price. And I can budget with the auto costing. I can literally go to the zip code and price out a house of 1-story, 2-story, a basement style. And every single parameter in there, I can know that in 15 minutes with the customer. And I can literally give the customer a budget price to get into a design contract in 15 minutes. And instead of saying those words, because that's what we always used to do, we would say a bunch of stuff and that's what everybody does. But if you can go in and actually prove, what you're doing, that's really the big benefit here for what I can see with new home builds.
Awesome. And Dimitri, I think Jared has a feature request, and it said it would be super cool to spec a supplier that you can select for pricing. Just if you want to use Home Depot, click that box. So we'll make sure all of this is sort of captured and shared with that One Build team. So the suppliers and some of these feature requests is captured. A couple more questions coming in. Jerry's telling you to get to work, Dimitri. Great question from Gary. I'll go to Chadwick. Do you have templates for common jobs?
Yeah. So Gary, basically when you come on with Cost Certified, the first step is that we get you paired up with one of our onboarders who has estimating experience and tech experience. That's kind of the two things you need to get this job. And we've got like 4 different standard templates, say for a kitchen, that we'll start to work on with you. And we will tailor it to your company because everybody thinks about quoting differently. For example, with demolition, you can go in our software and measure out the square footage of the demolition and do that by the square foot. Or you could just do it by the, some guys look at it and say, I don't want to piece it out. I need to get too specific with this. So we'll tailor it to the way that you think about quoting, whether it's by lineal foot or square foot. But kitchen number 1 is a simple kitchen where you're not moving the rough ends around. You're just doing cabinets, flooring, and repainting and some countertops, right? Simple. Kitchen number 2 is you are removing the rough ends and moving it around. So the templates will mirror what you're doing. And like kitchen number 4 is putting a kitchen in an addition. And I can do that quote literally in 15 minutes. I can do the addition. I just need the linear footage of walls. And then I can put that kitchen in that space, and I literally in 15 minutes can have that price for the customer. So yes, we have all the common jobs in here, and you can take those templates and modify them yourself, or we can modify them for you. And you can save them for future. So when you get a job that is a little bit unique and you sort of think you might do that again, you could save that template for a later date.
Awesome. And I think we got a shout out to Rod, to Jared and the Computer Geeks. We had a couple other actual questions that came through the questions section as opposed to the chats. George asks, can we get AutoCost to give lump sum cost per trade instead of individual line sub-assemblies?
Yep. So Cost Certified, because our software gives you the material list and breaks down every screw, every nail, we don't want to show that to the customer. We don't want to necessarily. A handyman does. When we get a handyman on our software, we get them to show everything, to show value of why this costs $800 and there's $300 worth of materials. But on a larger scale project, you just want to show the lump sum for cabinets and for the bath, maybe tile. So on the customer side, they only see the price for the cabinets. They don't see, and you could break that down to however you want to break it down to. So maybe like lumber, I don't want to show every nail and screw. I would just show that the framing for this wall is, $2,000, and it includes all these things. But you can break it down very, to every increment if you want, and really at the end of the day, Cost Certified, you can also put one lump sum at the bottom for the quote. So it's really up to you on how much you want to show.
Yeah. And that just speaks to just the customization of our software. When you do come on with us, the onboarder will basically set that software up to sort of fit your needs and your specification, how you like to show things. We have lots of examples of how other people do it, lots of existing templates, but it is highly, highly customizable to your business, which is really a testament to how powerful our platform really is. Another question from George for Dimitri. How accurate is the pricing?
Well, it's an interesting question. We believe it's very accurate. Otherwise, we wouldn't be partnering on this. But I would say the best way to find out is to get that 45-day trial that Patrick mentioned, and go ahead and try it for yourself and let us know.
Great answer and good call to action. Thank you.
And I would just expand on the accuracy, because that is probably the biggest question that we're all, if you're a contractor, you know that, when you price a job, if you price it wrong, that is no fun. What I can say is this is the best, um, you know, this is the best way. I mean, you got how many 300 people on your team, Dimitri, about that are doing all this pricing and getting in there? Like, there's a lot of smart people on your end, and suppliers and manufacturers and sub trades, a lot of people involved in this. And like, if you think about it, in my world, carpet was 350 a square foot when I was, I don't need to check auto costing for that. I kind of know, you kind of know your general measure or your pricing. But I would say that as you use this, if something's a little bit off, it's not going to be off by much. Firstly, I can assure you of that. And then secondly, when you come on with cost certified, you have the best chance of increasing your markup. And most people that come to us, we increase their markup by 10 or 15%. That should more than cover any little, if lumber is $1.62 to $1.53 one day, at the end of the day, I can assure you with the increase of markup, that is not even going to be an issue, So, and there's some things that I will say also that, if I was using auto cost today, back out selling jobs, I would tell a customer, I will guarantee my price on everything except for the cabinets, because we're going to go do a design and I'm going to give you a budget price for that. But everything else, I'm on. Let's do it. Right. So,
Yeah. Great call out there, Chadwick. And one of our core value propositions is we help you get not only run your business more efficiently and save costs, but improve that margin and your markup. So guaranteeing that you're making money off of the jobs that you do. Joe, just sorry, who is Gary? Just reinforcing that we will, asking if we'll be adding local suppliers. That's going to be stuff that absolutely. Future enhancements and continuing to just get more and more powerful. Joe, I think you specifically asked the free trial. So you're right. This is so it's a 45-day free trial for all of our existing customers to try AutoCost. It's with an annual subscription. It's about $75 per month. You can try it monthly for $99 per month after that free trial. It is optional. It is an add-on feature to give you that added peace of mind that when you are doing estimates, that you are getting the most current accurate pricing available to you. So again, turn on that free trial, give it a go, and we're sure you'll see the value and the power of our joint solution with One Build and Cost Certified. I'm not sure, Rod asking One Build adds 10%. I think maybe what you're talking about was Chadwick saying that the markup on it, right? So we'll bring the pricing of that, and what we generally do with our clients is a little markup, and is pretty standard in industry, is a markup on those materials as well. So even if there's a slight discrepancy in some of those pricing, that markup more than offsets the thin discrepancy there.
let's make sure of that here, Patrick. Dimitri, is that true that you're adding 10% to your cost, or your cost is bang on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, I thought maybe what Rod was asking is it maybe adds 10% to the subscription. But the true cost is, or One Build is attempting to get the best price, most accurate, and then any markup will be put on that. So I don't think the 10%, the markup could cover us on our side. Well, Rod, the true cost is say $1,000 of something from One Build, and then you're going to decide what to put on it as the markup. And what I was saying is that most contractors, we increase most contractors' prices by about 10 or 15%, which will more than cover any discrepancies in that. So,
and what Chadwick was showing, what you can add that markup or that margin on the jobs that you do, and you can do that on an item basis. So if you have a vanity and it comes in at costs $9.99, you can put whatever markup that you want on top of that, and that's your margin.
Yep.
Great conversation, great questions. Looks like they might have stopped coming in. Oh, can I get Chad to deliver my eulogy when the time comes?
Absolutely, Jerry.
He's a singer-songwriter too. He can sing your eulogy for you.
Oh yeah, you get a song. Absolutely. So that's awesome.
I think Gary asking, what are the main features the program does? Chadwick, do you want to maybe talk at a high level
Yep.
from cost
Yeah.
certified?
So yeah, sure. So the main features, if this was the elevator pitch, 30 seconds or less, really the big difference is that our software is built around quoting firstly and project management secondly, because project management has been done by everybody. There's 150 different project management softwares out there. So we have all their same features, but just dumbed down a little bit. And that's mostly what contractors want. They want easy. Our software is mainly focused around sales and estimating. And it's the interactive quote, which is so revolutionary if you think about it. This is like the laser level coming in when you're using a level. If any of you contractors out there, I have a laser level and I can't even imagine using a regular level. I use it a little bit, but it's a night and day difference. And the big thing is that the interactive quote, it's what your customer wants. That's the whole thing here, is that you can have optional items and upgrades. Those are the two biggest benefits here. And actually the third big benefit now is the auto costing. I've been trying to get auto costing. We tried auto costing ourselves internally, cost certified. And it sort of worked, right, Jarrett? We got sort of there, but we couldn't even get close to what these guys were doing. So, at a high level, it's to give your customer a quote fast. Sales is a race. The first person who can get the price to the customer and take the rest of the guys off the table, that's a huge win. So getting a quote to a customer fast is what we do. We allow your customer to have the ultimate control to get their budget in line and pick their products and have that accurate pricing. So, I said it before that it speeds up things by about 80%. And before cost certified, I was quoting 3 to 5 jobs a day. I was a week behind. I was staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning from Monday to Thursday and working all weekend and closing at 20% closing ratio. I get cost certified and I close the very first job that I send out. And I get my jobs all done by 8 o'clock at night and I start closing at a higher clip. So, this is just a revolutionary software that, wows your customer. And, I don't see, there's no really drawbacks on my end. I can't imagine if, like I say, if Patrick fired me today and I had to go out there and work out there again with, selling jobs, I cannot imagine doing it without cost certified. I cannot imagine it.
Great.
So no firing today.
No, I'm not firing, not today.
Okay.
I think Joe kind of said in the chat that he tried when using the auto cost feature, there was a bit of a discrepancy in the price. I think Dimitri talking to, it pulls retail prices. So if there are volume discounts, that isn't reflected in that. We'll also dig into that. Maybe that's a takeaway for Jared to look at as well too, just to make sure. And then maybe for Jared, where in app can they find this to enroll?
Yeah, for sure. So on your Rubik's Cube, to the main menu, or you can even just search it with that little search thing at the top right corner, but it will be an auto cost page that you'll open. It'll have a big new button right there, like Chadwick's showing. And then you can kind of read up on the information about auto cost, and you can activate it just on this page here.
So yeah, go to your Rubik's Cube, as he said, whoops, and then you get the auto cost and you can activate right there, or contact sales. Whoops.
Yeah. Ooh, into the vortex.
Apologies.
Great call out. Thank you, Derek, as well. Joe, I think when you were perhaps also using that auto cost, it might have already had the markup included. So when it pulled that in, it had your markup on top of that already. Which could have caused that discrepancy, and is probably most likely that cause. So And maybe for Chadwick, he said when he inputs the labor cost and profit margin that for his company, is there a way to lock that so I don't have to input that on every single bid?
Yeah, as soon as you save that item, you input your cost of labor, cost of material, put your markup on. As soon as you hit the save button, or if you update it, then it will always show up the next time as the same price. If you want to change it for one quote, you could change the price, increase it or decrease it, and just don't update it or save it. It'll save in that quote only. But I used to do that all the time. I used to look at the price and the complexity was maybe a little more, and I'd just crank it up a bit. And it was only for that quote. But this standard price stays standard across the board. And now if it's an auto cost item, if you change the price, and maybe Dimitri, this is a question for both Dimitri and Jarrett. I think we talked about this yesterday. If you change an auto cost item and change the price, what happens then? You have to save it, I believe, and then it will it'll only revert if you don't save it to the auto cost, right?
So within cost certified, you can pull in an auto cost item. You can change anything you want with it. You can change the price if you want. It doesn't really make sense to use an auto cost item if you're going to change the price, because that is all the power of auto cost. But you can change the price if you want and use it as your own price item with the title and the picture. It won't break anything. No.
Now, what if you save it, then the auto costing just won't update, is I think what happens. So
If
it kind of
save
defeats
it,
the purpose.
right. But you can take an auto cost item, you can rename it to what you like, you can put in your own pictures, you can put your own description, you can save it to your library, and next time you pull that item into a quote, it'll keep all your information that you just added and still pull in the current auto cost price at that time for that
Yep.
postal code or zip code.
Yep, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Perfect. Thanks. And then I think Gary asked the question, can you put up the interface so we can see how it is set up and organized? I'm not sure if more specific, Gary. I know you might have missed, Chadwick did do a demo of it, but I don't know if you can be more specific as to what you're hoping to see. And I do know Dimitri has a hard stop in 5 minutes, so if there are any one build specific ones, make sure you get them in before he has to drop. And George, yeah, the meeting will be recorded and shared with everybody on this call. I'm just waiting. Gary is typing away.
He's got a big one coming.
He just wanted to get a peek of it. So Chad, we want to bring up
let's do it
assembly quickly.
Yeah, how about a 30-second demo of cost certified? Whoops, there we go. Can you see that, or did I share the wrong screen?
Yeah, we can see the CRM right now.
Oh, good. Okay. So just quickly, Gary, and let me just check time. 4 minutes. Okay. Just quickly, Gary, this is your CRM. This is where you'd start to find your customer. And this is where you're going to share your information with all your internal staff. They can pick a customer anywhere here and either find the customer's scope of work, the material list, or if you're giving them a quote, they're kind of here in the orange, and it shows you all your numbers, financials. So 508,000 potentially coming in, 446,000 in book projects, all your invoicing. So this is the CRM. It also shows you when a customer opens their quotes, which is kind of cool. So I'm just going to open up a quote here and just show you quickly. You would typically start in your library, and these templates here have all your different projects in there. So I've got a kitchen here. And if you wanted to go into the auto cost library, it's here as a separate item on itself. So the cool thing here is you can literally go in and check your lumber prices right there. Boom. And these will already be added into your library. So once it's done, you can kind of set it and forget it. But let's just add in a quick quote here. We'll put this kitchen in, and let's put this to the top. And I'll forget about these little single items here. When I'm building out a quote, I can literally just go in and confirm the dimensions. So what I do is I click on this, and I need to know my cabinet length, my floor area, uppers, lowers, how many cabinet drawers, under cabinet lighting, crown molding. So you just put the dimensions in. You could also put the dimensions in each single section here. So countertops, I got 39 square feet of countertops. I could say, well, actually I have 200. It's 1,200. That's a lot of countertops. And that's going to change the price automatically right there. And I've got a bunch of variations here. I've got quartz, laminate, natural stone. I can lock it off so I don't show laminate, but I would show the customer everything. I can lock it so they can only see some things, and I can hide it from the customer so they don't see it at all. And so this is kind of the back end where you're going to be putting your dimensions in, and I can have multiple quotes in here. So I can add, let's put this ADU in. And as you can see, I got the 2 quotes here, and I can make them optional so the customer can pick which ones they want. And then you can literally go to your preview tab, and this is what the customer is going to be seeing on their side. So they can literally go in and start making decisions on their cabinets. And I mean, with these cabinets here, I can take this set of cabinets, I can change the color. Boom. I can change the shaker door style. So, you know, it's just a great way to let your customer make some decisions. And every time you upgrade or downgrade, if I want to do this 2-tier organizer, it's $1,250. I add it in, it's going to change the price. And the customer just keeps upgrading and downgrading. So I know we only got a minute left here, so I hope that was enough. Book a meeting with me or one of my team members if you want to see more, but I'll turn it over to Patrick before we lose time, and hopefully we didn't. So
yeah, no, that was perfect, Chadwick. Thank you. And again, Gary, if you'd like to see more of that, absolutely. We'll send out an email after this. You can book time with one of our account executives. They can give a customized presentation, show you everything tailored to your business that will work for you. One last question from Gary. Do the suppliers themselves update their prices? I'll take a crack at this. Jared, tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe they use scraping technology, right? Where they're
I think they probably do a combination of scraping, and then they have quite a few suppliers in their network, as well as estimators that they kind of submit the pricing to OneBuild, and they take all that data and kind of take a very accurate guess between all those, and then give you kind of that budget cost that Chadwick was talking about.
And there's 20 data scientists on their team, 20. So, and there's also contractors, and there's 300 people that are giving you these prices, from the data scientists who sort of take that information at the end and deal with it. But it's real contractors that are on this team. There's suppliers, stores, you know, like now they're talking about working with Ferguson. So there's some pretty cool stuff, you know, that they're doing here. This, like I said, this is pretty amazing stuff. So
yeah. And maybe on that note, again, encourage you guys, if you're using Cost Certified today, turn on that free trial, give it a spin, try it out. And if you're not a Cost Certified customer today, you should really consider becoming one. Book some time with one of our account executives, and they'll give you a full deep dive into our software. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your busy day to join us. Any last thoughts, Jared, Chadwick? You good?
Great.
Nope. Thanks, everybody, for spending some time with us. And like Patrick said, is give this thing a whirl, and reach out to us if you have any questions. We'd be glad to help you. So
awesome. Thank you, everybody. You will get a recording of this. So if you missed anything from the beginning, you can rewatch from the start. But on that, have a great day. Thanks so much for joining.